Well, we're delighted to welcome to Focus Today a friend in the studio. He's ministering in Southern Oregon, and we'll give you his appearance date coming up in just a few moments. But we have with us today Usama Dakdok. Did I say it right?
That's correct.
Okay, and he's the founder of Straight Way Ministries, and he was born in Egypt and grew up in a Christian home, and now he's been in the United States since 1992, and he has an incredible ministry. So welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Appreciate you.
Well, tell us, what is Straight Way Ministry?
It's a ministry have a double-edged sword, as we say. First is to reach out to the American and teach them the truth about Islam, which is the most dangerous cult ever exist on planet Earth. So many Americans have no idea what Islam is all about. And the second part of our ministry is to reach out to the Muslims, because we assume in America that the Muslim world are the Arab, and all the Arab are Muslims, and they know everything about Islam. Sadly, 87% or so of the Muslims in planet Earth have never read the Quran, because they do not speak Arabic. And they are Muslim simply because they were born from a Muslim daddy. Okay. Besides that, they have no idea. So I believe if Muslim knew Islam, they would believe in Islam. The most common answer I receive from all the hundreds, but the thousands of Muslims whom I met who became a Christian, I say, what led you to Christ? What caused you to leave the religion of Islam to be a Christian? He said, I left Islam because I got to know what Islam is. So if you don't know what you believe in, you're in the bus, and the bus is moving on. But if you know the bus is going wrong direction, you get off the bus and you get the other bus to the right direction.
Did you say that 80% of Muslims
87%.
87% of Muslims are not Islamic?
No, they're Muslim, but they're not Muslim. Like, we talk about Iran is a Muslim country.
Okay.
We're talking about Turkey is a Muslim country.
Right.
We talk about Afghanistan, Pakistan, and all these foreign countries. People of Iran, people of Turkey have no clue what Islam is, because they never read the Quran. They don't know anything about Muhammad, their prophet. Wow. So they're Muslims because they were born from a Muslim daddy.
Okay.
But they're not Muslim because they believe in Islam. And that's how normally when I start ministering to Muslim, I said, when did you become a Muslim? And he said, well, I'm Muslim all my life. I was born Muslim. I said, no. When did you choose to believe in Islam and follow this religion of Islam? They have no answer. So they're Muslim because simply they were born in a Muslim family, and that's a problem.
Right, so is that the power of intimidation to hold the moderate Islamist or Muslim in place so that they don't speak out against the religion of Islam?
You're opening a big bag of worm here, or box of worm. There is no moderate Muslim.
Well,
because there is no moderate Islam.
Yeah.
The problem is not in the people. The problem is in the ideology. If you open the Quran and you read, for the last 12 years, we have been in war with radical Muslim, extreme Muslim, however people want to call it.
Right.
But if you open the Quran, you will never see one verse where the word radical was mentioned. There is Muslim believers and there's kuffar, infidels. So Muhammad was commanded by Allah, Quran 8:65, for example, chapter 8 and verse 65. O you prophet, provoke the believers to engage in war. Well, in America, we don't believe we're in war with Islam, but there are 79 verses in the Quran where Allah commands Muslim believers to engage in war with infidels, us. So you don't see the word radical anywhere in the Quran, but the word believers. That's the word Allah used. Allah calls them believers. Muhammad calls them believers. They call themselves believers. And here in America, we call them extremists. I'm sorry. No moderate Muslims, because there is no moderate Islam. The idea is that there is good part of Islam and there's bad part of Islam. That's a joke. Islam is Islam.
Okay, because that clarity, I think, is in the back of a lot of people's mind, because their silence is a condonement.
Well, but see, when you say, why nobody speak against the jihadis or the radical? Right. In Islam, it's okay to lie. So this is no big deal. I can sit with you here and I can tell you, oh, I am anti this jihadist person, jihadist organization. That's a joke. Here sometimes you see maybe on some TV station like Fox News, somebody like Sean Hannity, which I love him dearly, and I've been on his show 10 times just last year on his radio program. And I tell Sean, there is no moderate Muslim. Even if you find somebody who speak against the radical, well, guess what? He's practicing taqiyya. He's practicing verses of the Quran. Muhammad taught the Muslim. Listen to this was shocking. It is lawful to lie in 3 cases. Wait a minute. A prophet telling the people it's lawful to lie in 3 cases, but listen to the 3 cases. Number 1, a man to his wife that she will be pleased with him in time of war, because war is deception. To your friends, to make peace between them. So in Islam, you can lie to your wife, you can lie to your enemies, and you can lie to your friends. I think that covers them all.
Wow.
Islam is a religion of lies. It's built on deception. So you can easily have somebody sit in my chair and you sit here and he will tell you, well, we condemn this, or we condemn that Islam is love, Islam is peace. That is also lies, which is allowed in Islam.
All right, so now let me bring this back around. How do we Christians witness to a Muslim, and how dangerous is it for them to even consider conversion?
I believe it's very easy for Christian to minister to Muslim if Christian knew 2 things. What Christian doctrines is, what we believe, and why we believe what we believe.
Boy, that's so
Number
true.
2,
Yeah.
if we know what Muslim believe. The problem we have with most people who are very interested to minister to Muslim people, they do not know Christianity as much as they do not know Islam. Mm-hmm. So here is a person who is a Christian, baby Christian we call them. Mm-hmm. There are those who are drinking milk, not chewing in a big meat.
Yeah.
And then they try to minister to Muslim people. So they will go to the mosque. I know some baby Christian who go to the mosque and they try hard to minister to Muslim people and they tell them about Jesus. But then when you hear what you say, it makes sense to you. Jesus loves you. He died on the cross for your sin. And if you believe in him, you can have eternal life because he can forgive you for your sins. And if you believe in the Bible, you become a Christian and you will have eternal life. This is what we Christians say and what we Christians hear. But if you know how Muslim hear the same message, you'd be shocked, because for a Muslim, if I'm a Muslim and I'm hearing this from you, I'll hear you saying that you believe in 3 gods and one of them is Jesus, and he died on the cross. The Quran said he did not die on the cross. And you believe the Bible, and the Bible teaches everything you say. Every time a Christian say the Bible said to the Muslim, we as Muslim believe the Bible is corrupted. The Bible has been changed. And all what you're going to tell me about Jesus is a lie. To the Muslim, Jesus is a good teacher, a good prophet, and a good man, and that's all what you need to know. All what you need to know about him.
And that's it.
He is not the Son of God. He did not die on the cross. He never rose from the dead. Somebody else looked like him died on the cross instead of him, as Allah states in the Quran. And that is actually the great part of Satan, of the God of Muhammad, which is the God of Muhammad. Allah in Quran chapter 3 verse 45 said, Hum makru, wallahu makru, wallahu khairun makirin. They deceive and Allah deceive, and Allah is the best deceiver. And this verse interpreted to be that the Jew deceived Jesus to kill him, and Allah deceived the Jews by bringing somebody who looked like Jesus. And Allah, the God of Muhammad, is the best deceiver. He deceived all the Jews, he deceived all the Christians the last 2,000 years by making us believe that Jesus died on the cross, but it was not really Jesus. Wow. It was somebody who looked like Jesus, because Jesus escaped from the window up to the heaven. But the guy who died, he looked like Jesus and is somebody else. And by the way, Muslim scholars do not know who this person is, as they go in chaos and big circles. Some say he's this person, some he said that he's that person. Many stories you can read about in my new book, Exposing the Truth About the Quran, where we literally have fun to laugh at Muslim scholars, because they are not real scholars. I call them dumbers, even though there's no word in English say dumbers, but I made it up.
Yeah.
But that's a problem. We do not understand how Muslims hear us. I believe if we know our Christian doctrine, why we believe what we believe, and if we know Islam very well, we can easily reach out to the Muslim. Because
so where's the break in the Islamic doctrine? Where's the break for the Christian to enter?
For example, if you talk about the death of Christ, the Quran said Jesus died. This is clear teaching, and there is a series of verses I use in the Quran, like Jesus' own word as a baby. When he was a baby in the Quran, he talked and he said, peace on me the day I was born, the day I will die, and the day I will ascend to heaven. And Muslims say, well, he will come in the end of time and he will die. But you go to another verse in the Quran when God, the God of Muhammad, Allah said to Jesus, I'm about to cause you to die, present tense. But then you go to another verse, like in Quran chapter 5, verse 116, when I caused you to die, past tense. So the Quran said Jesus did die. And the idea is that Jesus will not die because he's a prophet. Well, the Quran said that Jews kill many prophets, or because he's a messenger. The Quran said Jews kill many messengers. So all the excuse which Muslims put for Jesus not to die It's really a joke. Why? Add more than that. Why Muslims reject Jesus to die for you and I? Because they will tell you nobody will die for anybody else. But at the same time, Allah brought somebody to die instead of Jesus. So if somebody can die for Jesus, why not Jesus die for me? It is. But the more we know about Islam, the more we can reach out to the Muslims. And Muslim belief in so many things about Islam is not true. The idea is that Islam is a loving, peaceful religion. Just 2 Sundays ago, a man from Pakistan, his name is Ahmed, he came attend my meeting, and he said that I took all these verses, I share a good 15 verses or so from the Quran, which clearly teach Islam is a religion, is a cult of hate. And he said, you took all these verses out of context. And I said, okay, can you share with us tonight one verse, just one verse in the Quran, teach love or peace? He could not come up with one. So we can argue as much as we can by our lips, but if you know depth, knowledge, Islam is not a religion of love and peace. And if Muslims know that, then they maybe will start to realize that there's so much other things they do not know truthfully about Islam. And that's how we can lead them to Christ. And
two quick things. You name your book again?
We have actually 2 books. One is The Generous Quran, which is the true, accurate English translation of the Quran. It's extra 100 pages to help reader to understand.
So you're already in trouble by doing that.
Well, absolutely. We have already the fatwa that they will kill me for translating the Quran. Right. And this has been out for 4 years now. Yeah, right. We actually send it to all our senators and our congressmen and our governors and to the High Supreme Justice Court. And so I would love to ask your audience, if they check with your senators, congressmen, and the governor of your state here and ask them, have they read the Generous Quran yet? If not, if they said they don't have it, we'll send them a new copy. And the new book obviously is Exposing the Truth About the Quran, which is the 2 volumes, 830 pages. That's how we went in depth to show all the errors in the stories of the Bible, which Muhammad copied from the Bible and he inserted in his Quran.
All right, you can get those at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. All right, before I take a quick break, Usama is going to be speaking at the Provoke Community Church coming up when?
Sunday morning, I believe. We have 2 services, Sunday morning and Sunday night, a different church.
Right. Okay. And
you can find it on our and online for where I'll be speaking or what place I'm going to be speaking. And your Wednesday still open, by the way. I still have Wednesday open.
Okay. All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Well, we're back with our very special in-studio guest this time. I have talked to him on the phone, but this time we have him in the studio because he's speaking throughout Southern Oregon here on the West Coast. Usama Dakdok is with us today. He's the founder of the Straight Way Ministries. And by the way, you can go to thestraightway.org. That's his website. And check out his speaking schedule. He'll be speaking in Grants Pass this coming weekend. And he just told me Wednesday night is open. So if you're watching and you have an opening in your church Wednesday night and you want them, what should they do? Call us here and we'll get a hold of you or something like that?
They just go to our website and they can
contact you there?
A meeting or call us directly. Yes.
All right, that's thestraightway.org. So maybe you'd like to get him in your church for Wednesday night. All right, a couple of things. Now, you're born in Egypt, raised in a Christian home. How risky was that for your family?
It is hard, it's difficult. Christians have been persecuted in the Middle East, in the 57 Muslim countries for the last 1,400 years. But the problem is, it's amazing. I can be in some country in the Middle East and I see the problem there and I see the bombing or the killing or whatever the Muslims do. And I come to America and I think that maybe we heard of it. We don't hear about anything. Once in a while you hear about a bombing in some church. Just, the last 4 weeks or 5 weeks ago, they burned 82 churches in Egypt, including my own home church, the one I grew up until I left Egypt and I came to America. But you may hear about it, they burned some churches, but you don't know how severe is the damage and how great the persecution for Christian in the Muslim world. That's in 57 Muslim countries. Christians are persecuted everywhere, whereas Muslims have majority.
All right, now if you're successful in leading a Muslim in America, an American Muslim, if we can say that, to Christ, how risky is that for them?
Well, it's very clear. Honor killing is reality in Islam. As a matter of fact, without honor killing, Islam will not exist. If you study the history of Islam, we're assuming that everybody believed in Muhammad and Muhammad days. That's not true. Even Arabs, the Bedouins, if you go to Quran chapter 49 and verse 14, Allah's word in the Quran tells us that Bedouins, the Arabs, said, we believed. And then Allah is correcting them by telling Muhammad, say, you did not believe, but you surrendered, for faith never entered your hearts. So the Arab in Muhammad days did not believe in Muhammad. Wow. They surrendered to Muhammad, and that's what the word Muslim means. Muslim means surrender or submit. So Arab did not believe in Muhammad. The foreign countries around Mecca, around Saudi Arabia, did not believe in Muhammad. They could not even know what the Quran is talking about. And how Islam exists, the day Muhammad died, many of the Arab Muslims left Islam. As a matter of fact, 5 prophets show up on the day Muhammad dies. 5 people made themselves prophets. And Abu Bakr Siddiq, the first Khalifa, he literally is the one who brought Islam back to existence. Why? This is, by the way, the man whom Muhammad married his daughter, his favorite wife, Aisha. Muhammad was 51 years old when he married Abu Bakr Siddiq's daughter, and she was 6 years old. That's why we say Muhammad is a child molester, because, I'm sorry, his action is give him this title. We're not here to insult Muhammad. Muhammad insulted himself. But Abu Bakr Siddiq began what we call the apostation war. That is when Abu Bakr killed all those who left Islam. And believe it or not, from that day until today, honor killing is real. And honor killing is not a culture as some people try to present it. Honor killing is the teaching of Allah in the Quran, chapter 6 and verse 151, where Allah said, do not kill the soul which Allah forbid, except for a just cause. The soul which Allah forbid to be killed is the Muslim soul, because Allah throughout the Quran allow the killing of any other soul. Wow. As a matter of fact, that's fit with the teaching of the entire Quran and the Hadith. Muhammad said, I have been commanded to engage in war with people until they testify to the fact there is no God but Allah, and I am His messenger. So if you don't believe in Islam, if you don't say the Shahada, then Muslims have the right to kill you. But the Muslim soul cannot be killed except in 3 cases. You go to Sahih Muslim, Muhammad said, the blood of the Muslim cannot be shed except in 3 cases. Murder, that if a Muslim kill a Muslim, not a Jew or a Christian. We are commanded, Muslims are commanded to kill the Jew and the Christian. 9:29, 9:5, and in many verses throughout the Quran. If a Muslim commit adultery, and if the Muslim apostate, the 3rd reason, Muslim must be, his blood must be shed, Muslim must be killed if he or she leave Islam. So you're talking about ministering to the Muslim and they come to Christ, they will be killed by their own father, mother, son, daughter, or the Muslim community.
So what's the civil war all about then? Why are Muslims fighting Muslims? Is it religious based? Is it political based? I mean, it seems like they're violating their own doctrine here.
Well, because Muslims killing Muslims.
Yeah.
But see, if you talk to a Shia, he will tell you Sunni are infidels. If you talk to the Sunnis, they will tell you Shia are infidels. Muhammad, as a matter of fact, said in the Hadith that in the future of Islam, there will be 71 denominations. And all of them are going to go to hell. And only one of them are going to be removed from hell to the paradise. Every Muslim will go to hell in Islam for a while. And then one of them, so 71 denomination alone, this number tell me Muhammad is not a true prophet, because in a country like Indonesia, I've been there twice, there are hundreds of denominations in one country. There are different cults. All it takes is a mufti, some guy to come with issue a new fatwa, a new decree about a new understanding, and he will start a new denomination. But not all Muslims are Muslims. Even Muhammad said there are 70 or so of them. One of them are true Muslims, and the rest are infidels. So you think about it. Shia kills Sunni, Sunni kills Shia. And by the way, that's still the practice of the Quran.
Wow.
If you go to Quran chapter 2, verse 178, Allah said in the Quran, retaliation is decree for the Muslim. A free man for a free man, a slave for a slave, and a female for a female. And by the way, that's a very barbaric cult. Because if I killed one of your slaves, and I'm a free man and you're a free man, you cannot kill me. You have to pick up one of my slaves and kill him. If I kill your wife, you cannot kill me, but you have the right to kill my wife. If my slave kill you and you're a free man, your family have no right to kill my slave, but they kill me. Very barbaric. And that's why you see, people always ask me, Brother Usama, why, like last month we have a very terrible month in Iraq, the most violent month in the last 5 years since Obama came to power. And I say, how many Muslims kill Muslim in Iraq? I said, wait a minute, you don't understand. They are retaliating of what happened years ago under Saddam Hussein. The Sunni, which are 20% of Iraq, were in control of the entire country of Iraq. And they did so many bombing and they did so many killing to the poor Shia. So now Shia have power and they can retaliate. That is a teaching of the Quran, chapter 2 and verse 178. So they're not killing out of just for the fun of killing. No, they are getting even with all what the Sunni did to them for years and years under Saddam Hussein.
Well, flipping over to the Bible, and you kind of wonder the Battle of Armageddon and some of the things that are prophesied to happen in the future, and how the Muslim community is so large, and the whole world comes against Israel. It seems to me they have to turn on each other and for them to all die the way they're doing.
Well, no, see, but here's another thing we do not know here in America about Islam. In Islam, teach me and my brother against my cousin, and me and my cousin against our enemy. So if you're going to go in war against Israel, you will see a lot of unity among all these Muslims. If you think about the revolution in Egypt.
So that's all right. So you're saying, I've heard that, Israel and of course the United States, but Israel is Jews and Christians are the uniting point for all Muslims.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If you think about what happened in Egypt just a few years ago, Iran was supporting Egyptian. Iran is 100% Shia country and supporting the Brotherhood of Egypt, who are 100% Sunni, to take over the country. Because
so why does the world, excuse me, Usama, why does the world put up with this? Why does the world put up with a religion that kills people?
Because the world does not know the truth about Islam. If you talk to average American, even our politician, they will think Islam is a loving, peaceful religion. They will not know that there are hundreds of verses in the Quran which teach hate towards Jews and Christians. Start chapter 1. I mean, literally, when Muslims pray to Allah, they curse Christians and Jews every day 27 times. If you read chapter 1, Allah calls the Jews those whom His anger is against, and Allah in chapter 1 calls the Christians the lost one. Verse 6. So Muslims hate the Jews, hate the Christian. Israel is the small Satan or the small devil. America is a great Satan. And we're doing everything now to help. America is doing everything to help the Muslim in the Middle East to go in war against Israel. And I promise you, the war will not be against Israel. God will protect Israel. We are the one who's going to pay for it, because we're going to be cursed in America simply because we're cursing God's people in Israel. And that's the reality. If you think about the fires here in the West, or the earthquakes, or the hurricane, or the flood, or whatever happened in America, I believe this is a result of what we're doing to Israel.
Let me ask you a really delicate question, because there's obviously a Christian remnant in America who wants to support Israel and the whole state thereof. But this administration has been the most opposing to Israel than we've ever seen in the history of the United States. How do you categorize it? How do you categorize Obama?
I said on your program here, I believe a couple years ago, and I've been saying this almost for 6 years, Obama is a Muslim president who American people do not know. We just have Al-Watani newspaper in Egypt a few weeks ago threatening Obama by telling the world they have documents. They will bring it out to the open. If Obama will not launch war against Syria, where in this document they will prove that Obama is a member of the Brotherhood and his brother Malik Obama in Kenya is a member of Al-Qaeda. American people are so naive. They believe whatever every president tell you. And I'm sad to tell you this, I told you so. 6 years ago, I told the American people, Obama is a Muslim president, and you guys have no clue. Look how many Muslims work in the White House, in the Homeland Security, and the FBI, and CIA. The head of CIA, John Brennan, for heaven's sake, is a convert to Islam. Can you imagine just 10 years, or 10 and a half years after September 11, you had the head of CIA as a Muslim man, and the president of America is a Muslim man. The number of Muslim Brotherhood who work in the White House right now, they cannot work in Egypt. We kicked them out of our country, Egypt. But you American, open your arm, fall in love with all this Muslim Brotherhood, and you bring them to the White House. We have a problem. America needs to know the truth about Islam as much as America needs to know the truth about Obama. He is a Muslim man who's destroyed this country. So much has been changed in America the last 6 years, and the worst yet is to come in the next 3 years.
Well, I'm trying to catch my breath here. All right, we're going to run out of time. If you want to get a hold of Usama, his website is thestraightway.org. He does have Wednesday night open. Maybe you'd like to get him in your church. You can go there and find out where he is speaking in his time here in the Pacific Northwest. And his books are available at Amazon and at Barnes & Noble. And give us the titles again.
The first book is very important, The Generous Quran. That's how you know what Muslims believe.
Right.
And then exposing the truth about the Quran, which is literally show all the errors in the Quran. 2 volumes, I got 830 pages. Quite a study, quite a read.
Well, you're a passionate inspiration.
God is good.
Thank you. And he loves the Lord, right?
And we love the Muslim too.
Yeah.
We want to see Muslim to come to know Christ. And the only ways he can be saved, if we Christian learn all the truths we can learn about Islam, so we can truly reach out to them.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank
Blessings
you.
on you.
God
We'll
bless
see you
you.
next time.
Appreciate
All right, we'll see you next time on Focus Today.